Yes.
All right, guys, part two coming at you now with Franny. Like I said, we've just it's been a while since we talked, and she's always got some great stories. And we're just kind of talking about the Black Friday, Thanksgiving, Christmas whole ordeal. So I don't know. You tell me about Christmas in Canada growing up. Was that compared to, let's do the comparison, Christmas versus Canada versus America, because this will be like the holiday, Franny, and then we'll recap after the New Year. So let's get all this time out of the way, if you don't
Yeah.
mind. I'd love to cover this.
Well, Santa Claus was very good to us in Canada. And there's a lot of snow, of course,
Are there any
except
Jews in
maybe not in
Canada?
British Columbia. Jews? In Toronto, but not actually, I come from Northern Ontario, this little place. It was a uranium mining place
Oh
in
wow.
Northern Ontario. Yeah, very remote and all white people, basically.
Hey,
There was
oh.
Hey, oh, I know there was like a Chinese restaurant, there was like a black family, and we were pretty ignorant about other cultures and
Yep.
stuff like that, right, when I was growing up, right? Because we're kind of isolated. It's very snowy. It's very small townish where everybody knows each other. But it was like a good place to grow up.
So real quick, friend, you talked about like, this time of year, everyone being kind of crabby and stuff like that. Do you find too that when you're in states that have like that cold weather, that kind of builds to that angst? Because I was just back in New Jersey and Virginia, and I love New Jersey. I'll always rep it and tell people where I'm from, but being back there for like 2 weeks, I was just realizing like, man, there are so many fucking assholes here. And I don't know if it's because of that cold weather, it just makes like tougher, harder people that are more on edge, or well, do you have any
Yeah,
thoughts on that?
I don't know because well, it's a lot of it is East Coast, West Coast thing. Uh like people in the West Coast, we're very polite, but it's very passive aggressive here.
Yep.
And in New Jersey, I don't think it's so much passive aggressive. I think people say what's on their mind, right?
Oh, and
There's
I'll admit
not
I'm one
as
of
much
them.
dancing. Yeah.
But
And
it's different because like I take people's emotions and thoughts so much into consideration when I'm talking to people, and like the most rant, like I don't know, just everyday interactions. I come off very polite and very respectful of people, but then you go home and just like the littlest things, like holding a door for someone or saying hello and waving, it's all lost up there, and it's mind boggling to me, honestly.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's kind of hard to say. People are people everywhere. I definitely got told to F off a lot more when I lived in Toronto. It's
Wow,
big city, East Coast,
that fast
close,
pace, I guess.
fast paced, and it's very crowded. Here, people always let you merge. People are a little more gentle, but they're a little bit what's it called? They're a little bit colder. Like they're not as warm people, but they're more polite here.
Yeah, it's a weird dynamic because in Florida, you just find everyone's like slower and calmer and more relaxed, and there's not really a huge sense of urgency. And I don't know if that's because there's not any major metropolis cities around us, or what that plays into it. But it's definitely a weird dynamic, and it's been
Yeah.
interesting for me to live in the Northeast and New Jersey, 15 minutes outside of Philadelphia, and then coming down here and just being secluded in a sense. So it's definitely a different
Yeah.
dynamic.
Well, it's a very different dynamic here because, well, Florida, you guys have like different opinions on things, right? Here, it's very hippie. It's very Prius, granola,
Vegan,
electric
Prius,
car, carbon
pronouns.
footprint, pronouns, lawn signs with the "We Believe," blah blah blah. Have
God,
you
this
seen those
sounds like a
lawn signs?
nightmare. No, I'm just kidding.
Like every house has has that. There might be a couple of Trump supporters in the downtown Bellingham, but then there's what they have these signs out in front, and then they have competing signs across that kind of point all at each other in the neighborhood.
Hilarious.
So like it looks like the signs are fighting. Like the person with the Trump sign has it like sticking out, and then there's the person with the Biden sign that's like facing the Trump sign.
You know,
And some of them still have their signs out,
yeah, I was gonna
right?
say, what's funny is like I don't hide any. I don't really get into politics here, but I don't like make it a hidden thing. Like I voted for Trump, but like I didn't really have any Trump memorabilia or flags or anything like that. But I'm like, once he
Oh,
lost, I'm like, just take the flags down. Like, it's over. We lost. And you just see
this is
still
what
to
I've
this day.
got here.
Oh, what do we got here? We got Trump
Wait,
figurines.
what? Oh, okay. I've got
Guys, she
Trump.
just,
Trump
for the
sticking up
listeners, she's
his
holding
middle
up figurines
finger.
now, little dolls. One
Let's
looks like Donald Trump. Who's
see
the other?
Trump
Is that
sticking
Hillary
up his
Clinton?
middle finger, and Hillary Clinton in her pantsuit. I don't know if you can see this.
Hillary, show me the bodies.
And then they're fighting, and then I put them, and they fight each other during the day.
I
And I
hope
do have a
everyone's
Bernie.
listening and no one's watching.
I have the Bernie. What happened to Bernie? Bernie, maybe the people who came and cleaned my place, they might have not
Bernie's
been Bernie
Bernie's a good
support.
guy. He got a
They might
bad
have
rap, but
turned.
yeah, no.
But I
So
have
like
them.
my brother, right, going back a little bit to the Thanksgiving stuff, like even
Right.
before Thanksgiving ended, he was already starting to play the Christmas music and slowly integrating into the decorations. It's now, the day after Thanksgiving, they're in full swing. The decorations are going up. The music is Alvin and the Chipmunks was on blast today for him and his girl. So
My God,
I don't mind
kill
it.
me
I
now.
it just feels like I've always loved Christmas, but I almost feel like I've gotten more resentful of it when I've been in Florida, just because I know what it was
Yeah.
like when it was cold weather, and then when warm weather and Christmas, it just seems so weird.
Yeah.
I don't know, and I just have this weird thing about getting over it, and I'm like, you go away though for a couple months like I did, and you realize like, man, it's starting to get 50, 60 degrees, and you just got to start getting all these different wardrobes, for all the different weather. And in Florida, you can essentially just have shorts and a t-shirt and a couple pairs of jeans all year round, and it's
That's so nice.
it's
That
pretty
is
fucking
so
nice.
nice.
So
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, my sisters live in Florida. My parents are going to immigrate to Florida from their place.
can't wait to have them.
Yes. Oh yeah.
They'll
So
love. I mean, I'm
they're
telling you, once you, especially like them, they're dealing with Canadian weather. Like once you get in Florida, you just realize it's like this every day. They're just gonna fall. Especially the older people, I find they just right away.
yeah. They've asked a lot of questions about air conditioning, but I was like, Mom and Dad, don't worry. There's going to be air conditioning.
Yeah. I
Everybody
mean,
has air
there are so many
conditioning.
AC companies out here anyway, because it's like that's everything in
Right.
Florida. You know what I mean?
Right. Right. And maybe they'll take up the bidet too once they get to Florida. Who knows, right?
Just tell them to listen to
That's
an
not
episode of Verbal Garbage, some of the earlier episodes, because I've done a really good job of weaning off the bidet talk. I'll give myself some credit. I don't know if you've taken notice, but I've speaking of
Well, I
which,
have.
I'm actually like right now I'm in this futon guest room in my brother's house, and they have
Yeah.
a beautiful bathroom that I have access to. But
Right.
supposedly we'll just call him in-laws. He's practically married to his girlfriend. They don't really like the idea of adding anything onto the toilet. So I've gone bidetless we're going on 3 months now, Franny. So this is we're in
Congratulations.
uncharted territory to say the least. But just keep
Well,
in mind,
when you
listeners, I'm
can.
still taking every precaution to stay as clean as I possibly can. So
Okay, good, good.
have no
We're
fear.
glad to hear that. We're
We've
glad
got
to,
the
we're a
mint.
little
Yeah.
worried.
But that's enough about me. So we can kind of end it here, I
Well,
guess. But I'm just curious. Oh, please.
oh, no, I was just gonna say that I thought of you when I saw my pug girl
Oh,
take oops take like he took a dump in the living room, and I was thinking about your bidet,
oh
and I was
my God.
thinking he doesn't even seem to care, right? How a dog, right? They'll just take a dump and they're like, I don't care, and then just move on like as if nothing happened, right?
It's funny you say that because my brother and I and his girlfriend have all adopted our crazy sense of sanitation now, where when we take our dogs on walks and they go to the bathroom, we come home and we take a
Right.
flushable wipe and wipe their butt. Next level dog ownership right there. But hey, you
That
figure,
that is the reason why listeners do not buy a bidet. You might end up becoming like that, and that would be a very sad state of affairs. It's like a gateway drug or something. I don't know. I don't
hey,
know, man.
well, as long as the dog's staying clean, in the house, and I don't know, you know how it is. Just
Oh yeah.
sometimes the
Yeah.
dogs can lick in the nether regions, and if you love your
Yep.
dog, sometimes they lick your face, and take every
Oh
precaution you
my
can
god.
to avoid the listeria or whatever they call that. So for
True
you, Franny,
story. Yes.
when are we gonna hear another episode of what is it called now? It's been so long.
Oh,
It was
Franny
Comedy Fran.
Uncensored now.
You've
Franny
rebranded a couple
Uncensored.
times.
Yeah, I've kind of gotten off track.
Same
I've
here.
changed topics quite a lot.
Same.
And yeah, I've got to get back at it though. I mean, I can't even find the charger for my MacBook Air here. So I'm
That's a
definitely going to get
problem.
back at it. Going to get back at it. I think within the next month.
Well,
Within the
it's
next month.
tough, like me, let's see what my battery's at. I'm at 17%. So we'll get down to the nitty-gritty here, but it's yeah, like I committed early on to doing the 2 episodes a week, and now I'm kind of, I don't want to say regretting that, but it's a little challenging to keep up with, where some weeks you fall behind with getting a guest or a guest backing out, or just whatever the case may be. I've been working a little bit longer hours these last couple of weeks, so it's been harder to get the guest episode done. So I'm just trying to relate to you and try to support you in getting back on it, because you'll find once you get back on and do it again, it feels so good. But it's tough, and I can relate to what you're going through, because I'm like tonight, the gentleman canceled with me, and if you didn't get back to me in such a beautiful timely fashion, I would have just bagged this week and not had a guest episode. But I'm trying so hard to commit to that
Yeah.
solo and guest once, twice a week, one each.
Yeah. Well, that's amazing. And like, I
It's
think
tough.
maybe I needed some time off too, because I have to drum up some stuff to talk about because
No,
I
you don't.
no,
That's the thing.
no.
You just Some weeks I find I don't have anything, and I just go on, I just start rambling, it just starts coming to you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. And this feels more motivational for me too, because I had to dig out my podcasting equipment just now and I
Oh
couldn't
yeah.
find it. Yeah.
That's why I was kind of excited to get you to see if you were going to say yes, because I was like, not only has she not done hers for a while, she hasn't really done any in a
Right.
while. And if this gets her on mine, maybe it'll get her jazzed up to start doing hers again. Because I love listening to yours. You do that 20 to
Oh,
25, 30-minute
thank
range where
you.
it's not too much to digest at once. It's easy little
Yeah.
car ride. And I love it. So I'm
Yeah.
hoping this is going to light a fire under Franny's little tail and get her back on the airwaves.
Well, I want to maybe talk about Uber Eats, maybe some of my Uber eating experiences lately.
And
Why not, right?
you've only really been doing exactly, and you've only been doing solo episodes. So if you find that you need a guest to help you motivate and get to
Yeah.
talking back and forth, I would be happy to come on just to you know,
Thank
get
you.
you going again.
Thank you.
Oh hell yeah.
Well, I appreciate that. I appreciate that because I get really into something and then if something happens and kind of throws me like for me it was my mouth surgery,
Yeah, well that's a
excuse
big
me, and that got me off of everything for a while
did you
because
just
I was
burp out a tooth?
I did. But I don't feel so bad because I think you fart on your podcast, so I might feel okay. Or at least you say you do. I don't have any
Oh,
proof.
I do. No, we can dig one up if we need to, but
You
I
could
do.
just be saying it. You could just be saying it. I don't know. But I
No, we
did
do.
burp out a tooth.
This is one of those podcasts where sometimes I'm like, should I just go back and delete every single trail of everything I've ever said? Because it could be troubling, And I've mentioned earlier how I'm the eligible bachelor out there, and I don't know if this podcast is really helping my prospects, but it's a
Well,
passion
you might
project.
you might pick up some good checks, you know?
Well, to be
Like,
honest, I've started foraying into the dating scene, and
good for you. Do you do like
n-
Match.com or something?
I've kind of started dipping my toes in all of them. I just don't want to pay. I think it's crazy, and I
Right.
always talk so much shit on paying. Doing these things, but I'm like, how else are you supposed to meet someone? Like for me, I don't like I sell
Mhm.
tools all day. I'm not going to meet a chick at work, and then I go to jujitsu, which is not
Yeah.
really the ideal. And I'm not the bar guy. Like I don't go out to restaurants and bars alone. And like I used to work with
Right.
guys like, yo, if you go to a bar with an AirPod or two in, that's a chick magnet. They're just gonna walk up to you. I'm like, I don't know if it really works like that. So I've had a couple
Yeah.
hits, but I'm like very picky and I'm in my own weird ways and I've got quirks. So it's gonna be an
I'm
interesting
very
dynamic. And
picky.
it's a new podcast topic, if nothing else.
Well, I don't know what it is. Like when I was younger, I used to always think I was a 10 and then I found out, okay, this is really bad, but um I found out like, oh my God, am I really not as conventionally attractive as I thought I was? That's what I kind of hit me, okay?
Hey,
And then so I went online and I'm Googling like am I ugly and all this kind of stuff. And
oh,
then when they were like,
am I
put
ugly?
okay, no, no. But then what I did, this is a bad idea. Listeners, do not do this. There are these like weight rating websites you can do. Okay.
Oh my
Where
god, I feel like I have
you
to do this live in my solo episode on Monday.
okay. "Oh, this is horrible. This is
No, I'm
horrible."
doing this.
That those because I read on Reddit like women you're having some bad self-esteem issues. One of the women on there says, "You know what I did when I had really bad self-esteem issues is I put my picture on one of those like are you hot or not websites."
Oh my.
And and then I did that. I think it's called Picture Feeler or something like that where you pay money to have like random strangers on there rate your picture.
What?
So I spent this money
Oh,
and then I got like 2
man.
out of 10 or
Wha-
something on all sorts of categories.
Hey,
And
guess
then
what?
so
They don't know your humor. And that is such a huge, honestly, that is a huge thing. That's my
right.
calling card.
So anyway, I get these results back and it shows that I'm like 2 out of 10 um on attractiveness, 2 out of 10 on trustworthiness, and 2 out of 10 on appearing intelligent. So it says don't despair, they're just rating your pictures, okay? Plus your sample size might not be big enough, you need to maybe spend more money so that we can send your pictures out to more people to rate. So I was like, okay. I'm gonna
Wow.
spend some more money. I gave my
No.
credit card information to spend
Oh,
more money. Yeah, seriously. And then so the pictures got
you're
sent
making me
out to
not feel so
more
bad if I
people.
spend a little money on these dating apps now.
Yeah. So anyway, so I spent like maybe another $40 so it could get rated by more people. The more money I spent, the less
I
attractive
was gonna
I
say
became on this.
you're going up into the millionaire dating pool and you're just getting that
So
is
so I get
insane.
these results back and then it says don't despair. Like sure you've got bad
60 more
ratings.
dollars.
Yeah. So it says, don't despair. It's just telling you that your pictures don't look good. So go ahead, make better pictures, spend some more money and resubmit. And I'm like, I don't think so. I think I'm just going to stop it right here. But what
Yeah.
really made me happy though, this is what made me happy, is that there's also other things they rate you on. It's not only attractiveness, but it's also on intelligence and trustworthiness. And I scored low on all of them. So it
You
made
should
me
be
feel
proud.
happier though, because I'm like, I'm intelligent. So it invalidated the survey in my
Yeah.
mind. And also when I saw that I got a 1 out of 10 on trustworthiness, I was like, oh, that's kind of sexy though, that I'm very untrustworthy.
Rebel, baby. This Canadian rebel.
Maybe I can use this. Maybe this will be my new like facade is my untrustworthiness and criminality might be my new opportunity.
Well, then
So
your career is going to go down the dumps because you're not going to be able to dog walk and Uber Eats drive anymore. You trust. That's what I was going to say. It's funny that they say that because little do they know your jobs both require a lot of trust from your employers, if you will. So,
that's right. So don't ever use those
are there
websites.
any ones that you can do for free though to like get rated? Because I would
Don't
love
do
to
it.
like do a share my screen on a
Don't do it.
solo episode and do it. No, I don't give it. I know I'm not
You don't
attractive.
give a
That's
rat's
my
ass.
problem. I
You're a
got a
good
high
looking
like
guy though.
I think I can land a 10 just because of my humor. And I'm like,
Yeah.
no, probably not. But I'm gonna try.
You are? You are?
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm
I
gonna
wouldn't
try.
recommend it. I wouldn't recommend it. Maybe for you though, because you have like a good I wouldn't recommend it for some
I have a good
poor
jawline.
chick. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Like I wouldn't recommend it if you're some chick at home who's like, Am I pretty? Am I pretty?
Yeah.
Don't.
No.
Don't and don't ask your boyfriend if you're fat. Okay. Don't ask that. Don't ask
False
questions of
confidence.
other people. Okay.
Yep.
Don't ask those things. Don't ask those things because you're asking somebody to either, they can't win either way. They can't.
Yeah. No, they
Like,
have to say yes or no. It's a tricky
don't do
predicament
that.
for sure.
Yeah. Don't ask somebody else if you're pretty or if you're in.
How's your
Yeah.
how's your battery life looking there, mama? Mine's getting down to 8%, and I'm too worried about it dying and
Uh-oh.
getting all this
Okay. Well, I
deleted.
better let you go. Mine is like 35%, but
Another
8%
reason
is
to get a
pretty.
MacBook. I've been trying to get one. I'm gonna get one soon. The battery life. I had like double the battery you did going into this, and I'm already toasted. So,
Oh,
uh,
man.
2-part episode. Franny, thanks so much for coming on. I'm definitely gonna get you
Thank
on
you. Thank you
after
for
the new year starts. We'll recap your whole holiday ho humbug persona, and
yes.
we'll get you on soon. And can't thank you enough for coming on short notice and bailing me out.
All right. Well, thank you, Frank.
You're the bomb,
Merry
and you
Christmas.
better have an episode out soon. And like I said, if you're lacking
Yes.
motivation or struggling for topics, just get me on, and I'll start bullshitting some stuff with you.
Thank you, man.
All right,
Thank
Franny.
you.
Peace.
All right.
Yeah.
Bye.